السلام عليكم ورحمة الله وبركاته. أشهد أن لا إله إلا الله. أشهد أن لا إله إلا الله. أشهد أن محمدًا رسول الله. أشهد أن محمدًا رسول الله. حي على الصلاة. حي على الصلاة. حي على الفلاح. حي على الفلاح. الله أكبر. الله أكبر. لا إله إلا الله. إن الحمد لله نحمده ونستعينه ونستغفره ونعوذ بالله من شرور أنفسنا ومن سيئات أعمالنا. من يهدي الله فلا مضل له ومن يضلله فلا هادي له، وأشهد أن لا إله إلا الله وحده لا شريك له، وأشهد أن محمدا عبده ورسوله. قال الله تعالى في القرآن المجيد والفرقان الحميد بعد أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم: يا أيها الذين آمنوا اتقوا الله حق تقاته ولا تموتن إلا وأنتم مسلمون. وقال الله تعالى أيضا: يا أيها الناس اعبدوا ربكم الذي خلقكم من نفس واحدة وخلق منها زوجها وبث منهما رجالا كثيرا ونساء واتقوا الله الذي تساءلون به والأرحام إن الله كان عليكم رقيبا. يا أيها الذين آمنوا اتقوا الله وقولوا قولا سديدا يصلح لكم أعمالكم ويغفر لكم ذنوبكم ومن يطع الله ورسوله فقد فاز فوزا عظيما. أما بعد، فإن أصدق الكتاب كتاب الله وخير الهدي هدي محمد صلى الله عليه وسلم وشر الأمور محدثاتها وكل محدثة بدعة وكل بدعة ضلالة وكل ضلالة في النار. Respected brothers and sisters, indeed, all praises are due to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. We praise Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala and we seek help from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. We seek forgiveness from Him and we seek refuge in Him from the evils of our own souls and darkness of our own deeds. Whosoever is guided by Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, no one can misguide him, and whosoever is declared misguided by Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, no one can guide him. Respected brothers and sisters, our Creator has commanded us. He has guided us to be the witness and bear witness. And we do bear witness that there is no Creator, there is no deity, there is none worthy of worship except Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. And we bear witness that Muhammad sallallahu alayhi wa sallam is His last and final messenger and His servant. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has reminded us, O you who believe, fear Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala as he ought to be feared, and do not die except in a state of complete submission to him. And he has reminded us, O mankind, be mindful of your duties and your responsibilities towards your Lord, the one who has created you from a single soul, and from that single soul he has created his soulmate, and from those two he has created many men and women. Be mindful of your duties and your responsibilities and your obligations and your commitment towards him, of whose name you seek the rights of one another, and maintain the relationship of kin. Indeed, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is watcher over all things. Respected brothers and sisters, he has also guided us, O you who believe, fear Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala as he ought to be feared, and speak the word of truth. He will forgive your shortcomings and your sins, and he will correct your actions and deeds. Whosoever obeys Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala and his messenger has indeed achieved a great success. Respected brothers and sisters, the best of the book is the book of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, and the best of the guidance is the guidance of Prophet sallallahu alayhi wa sallam. And any path which deviates from these two sources is surely the path that goes astray, and all such astray path ends up into hellfire. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala protect us from following a path which deviates from the book of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala and the sunnah of our beloved Prophet sallallahu alayhi wa sallam. And before I continue, I would like to remind myself and all of the brothers and sisters that when we come here for the Salat al-Jum'ah, and when we come here to listen to the khutbah, and as the people are walking in, the angels actually stand by the doors of the masajid, and they are sending the blessings on the people who are arriving. And once the imam stands up on the mimbar, then they close the books. And whosoever comes first, as if he has offered the sacrifice of a camel, and those who come late, their reward decreases accordingly. So it is a responsibility to come early and be part of the khutbah, because this is the part of the ibadah. And when we are listening to the khutbah, it is an obligation to pay undivided attention and not indulge into any other activities, including pulling the threads from where you are sitting, and definitely not to be on your phone and texting and communicating with external entities and outside world. Otherwise, your reward is unnecessarily taken away from you. So may Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala protect us. This is a reminder to myself and all our young brothers and sisters that they have to be, when you are part of this gathering, they have to pay attention to what is being said from the mimbar, inshallah. My respected brothers and sisters, as I mentioned the 3 verses from the Quran, especially the last one, Ya ayyuhalladhina amanu ittaqullaha wa qulu qawlan sadida, O you who believe, fear Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala and speak the word of truth. Speak the word of truth, because this is something which is a responsibility. We have seen what the lies have brought to the world. We have seen that under the pretext of finding the weapons of mass destruction, there were so many lies that were told to the world, and we have seen that entire nations being destroyed, millions of people getting killed, hundreds of thousands of sisters being widowed, many lives have lost, hundreds of thousands of orphans are being created, and their lives are shattered once and for all. The lies do impact. They do impact. And we have seen the effects of those lies in our world. It happens at the individual level, it does happen at the community level, it does happen at the universal global level. Respected brothers and sisters, how often we hear something on WhatsApp, how often we look at Instagram, how often we look at something on Facebook, and without even verifying that information, we pick that one up and we propagate it without realizing that there are serious consequences. We could be destroying someone's life. We could be imposing great hardship on someone. We could be destroying somebody's reputation. We could be damaging the community. Yes, it does happen. There's something being labeled that, oh, the masjid leaders are doing such and such things. And without even verifying, we take those words and we propagate on WhatsApp channels. And we do not have the courage to talk to those individuals who are serving the masajid, who are serving the causes of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, and we do not realize that the shaitan creates the rift between those who serve the community and those who are being served. It is our obligation and responsibility to at least verify the information, especially if the information or the news or something which is being said is of serious nature. So please bear in mind, because Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has mentioned, in Surah Qaf, whatever we speak. In Surah Qaf, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has mentioned, أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم, ما يلفظ من قول إلا لديه رقيب عتيد, that there is not a single word which comes out of the mouth of an individual, but it is taken, it is captured, it is recorded by somebody who has been assigned with that individual by Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. ما يلفظ من قول إلا لديه رقيب عتيد. So all what we say has been captured, it is being recorded. And my respected brothers and sisters, all such words, all such utterances will become witnesses. It is up to us to make them either witnesses for us or witnesses against us. Because on the day of judgment, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala will seal our mouth. اليوم نختم على أفواههم وتكلمنا أيديهم وتشهد أرجلهم. On that day, their mouths will be sealed. We will not be able to speak. لا يتكلمون إلا من أذن له الرحمن وقال صوابا. And nobody will be able to speak on the day except those who will be given the permission by Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, and that too he will be speaking the truth. وقال صوابا. It is a greater responsibility, and it is said, وَإِنْ عَجَزْتُمْ عَنْ قَوْلِ الْحَقِّ فَلَا تَقُولُوا الْبَاطِلِ, that if you are prevented, if you are unable to speak the truth, if you are unable to speak the good, do not utter the batil, do not say the falsehood, because you will be held accountable against all those falsehoods which come out. And do not consider or take it lightly what you utter. Do not take it lightly. Because in one of the narrations, Prophet ﷺ has mentioned the servant of Allah, they say a word and not knowing that this word, this utterance damages his reputation. It displeases Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Displeases Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. So we have to be very careful that we may be praying, we may be fasting, we may be giving the zakat, but we are saying something which is being recorded. And yes, 1400 years ago, who would have thought that everything that is being said can be recorded? But in today's world of technology, what you have done in 1992 or 1991, you can still Google that and perhaps you'll find it. If human beings can do it with limited skills and limited abilities, imagine Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala records every single thing. And one such thing had happened during the time of Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam, when the tribe of Banu al-Mustaliq, they had come to the fold of Islam and they were obligated to pay the zakat. And Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam sent Walid bin Uqba bin Uqba to collect the zakat. He was the representative of Prophet ﷺ, and as he approached the tribe, he had a strange feeling. He made an assumption that this tribe or these people are not friendly. So he feared for his life. And then he did not go in there, he did not talk to anybody. He simply returned back to Prophet ﷺ. Now he started to cook up those stories. So it did happen. It was not like he was a liar, but he was not very strong in his faith, so he just made an error. So when he started to say that, oh, these people refuse to pay zakat, Prophet ﷺ, in the absence of this particular verse of Surah Al-Hujurat, they say that zakat needs to be collected even if we have to enforce it. So he was about to send a contingent against this particular tribe, and they learned about it, and they came to Prophet ﷺ, mentioned that we never refused to pay the zakat. Said that, didn't Walid came to you? Said, yes, he never showed up. Nobody came to us, therefore we never had an opportunity to communicate or pay zakat. So it was as if the entire tribe was to be destroyed. And Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala revealed this particular verse in Surah Al-Hujurat. And there is a great lesson for all of us, to the entire world, till the day of judgment. Ya ayyuhalladhina amanu in ja'akum fasiqun binaba'in fatabayyanu. O you who believe, when a fasiq, a person who is not authenticated, brings a news to you, then verify, validate it. Do not just spread, do not make assumptions. And that is still valid today, that anytime we hear on WhatsApp, anytime we hear anything on Facebook, we have to be very, very careful. And especially if it is mentioned in the name of Prophet ﷺ, because there are a lot of attacks on our deen. In our deen, we never separate the message from the messenger. Message is solid. Now what is left is the personality, the character of Prophet ﷺ, which is being attacked, under assault. People are trying to assault the character of Prophet ﷺ, and how can they do it? They can simply take a word which is mentioned in his name. Which is mentioned in his name. We have to be very careful. If something is not told or said by Prophet ﷺ, and we take it and we propagate it, and if it gets destroyed, if it gets proven that it is wrong, it will reflect negatively on Prophet ﷺ. It will be reflected negatively on the book of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, and that will destroy the credibility of Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam. So anytime we hear, even if it sounds and feels good, please be very careful. And before I conclude my first part, I would like to request the youth in the back that during the khutbah, it is not permissible to have a conversation or do any other activities, as I reminded in my early part of the khutbah. أقول قولي هذا واستغفر الله لي ولكم ولسائر المسلمين والمسلمات فاستغفروه إنه هو الغفور الرحيم. الحمد لله رب العالمين والصلاة والسلام على رسوله الأمين وعلى آله وأصحابه أجمعين. And the verse continues that when Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala mentioned, Ya ayyuhalladhina amanu in ja'akum fasiqun binaba'in fatabayyanu an tusibu qawman bijahalatin fatusbihu ala ma fa'altum nadimin, that lest you would have regretted about your assumption and actions. In word, yes, that will be a regret, but on the day of judgment, there will be a greater regret. So anytime we say anything about anybody, we have to be very, very, very careful, because we will be held accountable for our words. If we keep quiet, we may not we may not have to answer for that, and that is the wisdom and hikmah behind that if you are unable to utter the truth, do not utter the falsehood. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala help us understand these words of wisdom, and these words of wisdom would not have been possible for us to grasp and understand without the advent of our beloved Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam and his status. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has mentioned in this great verse, Inna Allah malaikatahu yusalluna ala nabi يا أيها الذين آمنوا صلوا عليه وسلموا تسليما. اللهم صل على محمد وعلى آل محمد كما صليت على إبراهيم وعلى آل إبراهيم. اللهم بارك على محمد وعلى آل محمد كما باركت على إبراهيم وعلى آل إبراهيم في العالمين إنك حميد مجيد. اللهم أعز الإسلام والمسلمين وأذل الشرك والمشركين ودمر أعداءك وأعداءنا وأعداء الدين. اللهم اغفر للمؤمنين والمؤمنات والمسلمين والمسلمات الأحياء منهم الأموات إنك سميع قريب مجيب الدعوات. اللهم اشف مرضانا ومرضى المسلمين. اللهم ارحم موتانا وموتى المسلمين. اللهم ربنا آتنا في الدنيا حسنة وفي الآخرة حسنة وقنا عذاب النار. اللهم أرنا الحق حقا وارزقنا اتباعه. اللهم أرنا الباطل باطلا وارزقنا اجتنابه. اللهم ربنا لا تزغ قلوبنا بعد إذ هديتنا وهب لنا من لدنك رحمة إنك أنت الوهاب. اللهم ربنا تقبل منا إنك أنت السميع العليم وتب علينا إنك أنت التواب الرحيم. وصلى الله تعالى على خير خلقه محمد وعلى آله وأصحابه أجمعين. عباد الله رحمكم الله إن الله يأمر بالعدل والإحسان وإيتاء ذي القربى وينهى عن الفحشاء والمنكر والبغي يعظكم لعلكم تذكرون. اذكروا الله يذكركم والله يستجيب لكم ولذكر الله تعالى أهم وأكبر. أقيم الصلاة.